Hello everyone and welcome to another channel update. It's been a little bit of time since our last channel update. I figured now would be a pretty good time for it. There are some changes that are, not changes, but stuff going on that I like to address and things in the future that I want to kind of plan ahead for. So I guess let's just start off with Persona 4 Arena. We're currently playing it. I don't think we're anywhere near the end of Persona 4 Arena. We're Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. We're doing Persona 4 Arena's story first, and then we're going to do Ultimax. I have no idea how long that's actually going to take. Could be the rest of February, could also be sometime in February that ends. I don't really know. After that ends, I don't exactly know what I'm going to jump into. There are some games coming out that I want to play. There's also like Trails of Cold Steel 2 that I want to play. I think I'm going to try to find like either a short game or I don't know. It's one of those things that come April 10th, I want to be able to just jump into Final Fantasy VII Remake. There's also Persona 4 5 Royal. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna play that fully. I want to play that game, but I'm not sure if we're gonna just jump right into it or just wait a little while for some of the events of Persona 5 to like seep out of my memory. But Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm like 100% aiming to get that on the channel come the first day of its release. Well, the second day. I'm gonna spend the day recording it. But yeah, so I don't really know what's gonna come after Persona 4 Arena. I could probably find another short game somewhere. I don't know. It's one of those things that I need to kind of plan ahead so that when April 10th comes around, which is 2 months from now, right? So there is room for me to like wiggle, but at the same time, I'm not sure when Persona 4 Arena stuff is going to end. And if it like ends in like 3 weeks from now, that's still a month and like a week or so until Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out, Episode 1 Remake anyways. So that's a lot of time for me to play something else. I just don't know what yet. I got a lot of games on the list, so I could probably go through there and just go to like howlongtobeat.com and kind of judge. Like, it doesn't have to be day one, but I would prefer it to be day one. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see in the future, right? But yeah, that's kind of the plan for the first slot of the day. Second slot, we are currently playing Catherine Full Body. I feel like we're nearing the end of that game. I'm getting a lot of like finality. I don't know. It feels like the story's starting to wrap itself up. And that could just mean like there's another week or two left of Catherine, but I don't really know. It's kind of weird. But it's like it feels like the story's coming to a conclusion, just I'm not exactly sure. That being said, when Catherine ends, normally I would have a community poll, but I think I'm just gonna play Danganronpa 2. Because I feel like if I put a poll up with Danganronpa 2 on it, I'm pretty much doing everything else on the list of this service, because I'm like 99.9% sure that the majority of the votes are going to go to Danganronpa 2. There's always a chance that I pick something from my list of games that outweigh it, but I feel like I'd be setting other potential great series up for failure by putting it on the list with Danganronpa and just having them be not voted on, and who knows when the next time they'll be on the list, right? So I think I'm just going to go ahead and just play Danganronpa 2 when Catherine Full Body ends, and we'll go from there. And after that, we'll go back to the community polls for that time slot. As to when that's going to start, I don't know yet. Like I said, I feel like Catherine Full Bodies is reaching a point where it's wrapping up, but I could just be wrong. I get that way. I got that way with like Trails of Cold Steel and like Persona games where I'm playing them and I'm just like, man, it feels like the end's right around the corner, and then it just goes on for another month. So I could just be wrong. Hashtag. But we'll find out in the coming weeks. As for our third time slot, Final Fantasy II is going to be wrapping up in a few days. I still got to record Souls of Rebirth, but at the same time, that literally is only going to be like 3 or 4 episodes. So at most, we got like a week left of Final. Actually, I think exactly a week left of Final Fantasy II. If it is like 3 or 4 episodes. After that, we're gonna have another Patreon series. Right now, I have a little post up on patreon.com/chronosplays that if you're a patron over there, you can suggest a game, or you can suggest multiple games, and then I'll just choose one and put it on a poll, and after Final Fantasy II ends, I'll have that poll up on patreon.com/chronosplays, and then people can vote for the games over there. As you see, you've probably noticed in the past that the Patreon games are maybe not games that I'd normally play on the channel, but if that interests you at all, check that out. And actually, all the Patreon games have been fantastic, right? Aside from, okay, XCOM 2 is a cursed game that almost destroyed my PlayStation 4. But aside from that, everything else that we've done as a Patreon series has been just fantastic. And I'm actually interested to see what actually gets suggested and wins this time. Now, after the Patreon series ends, I'm not going to do the next Final Fantasy walkthrough yet. After the Patreon series ends, I was initially going to do like a Final Fantasy VIII walkthrough, which I'm still planning on doing. I'm not sure how walkthrough it's going to be because of how, well, not easy the game is to break, but, well, okay, it is because how easy the game is to break and how little effort it actually takes to actually break the game. So I don't know. Like, normally I have, like, ideas of how I'm going to play a game, but for Final Fantasy VIII, we might just do it a little bit differently where, like, I've played the intro recently just so I could play the car game Triple Triad. It's a fun game, but I haven't played past the intro in a long time, so I don't know. Maybe we'll just... I think I played up to, like, Timber, where I stopped. So maybe when we get to Final Fantasy VIII, I just... instead of using notes and stuff like that, I just go with what I remember. It's not really a guide anymore. It's more of just, hey, it's a Let's Play where I haven't played this game fully in a long time. And watch me try to remember what to do. I don't know. It's kind of odd though, right? Not odd, but it's something, because I feel like if I just do a guide for it, it's like, hey, watch me just do thousands upon thousands of damage to every enemy and one-shot every boss going forward with no real threat. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could just stream it as well. But yeah, after I got completely sidetracked there. After the Patreon series, we're not doing Final Fantasy VIII just yet. We're actually going to do Trails in the Sky, the third. And we're going to wrap up this Trails in the Sky trilogy games, and that should be interesting. I know there's some... I don't know. There's kind of a split there from what I've heard heard commented on the videos in the past, where the third wasn't as well received as the first two. And the first two were it has a very good cult following, pretty much. They're very loved, and deservingly so, I think. The first two games were fantastic, but it's kind of gonna be interesting watching or going into Trails of the Sky the third, and seeing what kind of divided people on that. But I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've seen that cast of characters. And when we finish that up, Trails of Cold Steel 2 will eventually show up on the channel again after I get some time. But yeah, after the Patreon series, we're gonna go do Trails in the Sky the third. I did mention streaming earlier. As you might have noticed, the last Tuesday and Thursday, I was live on YouTube playing Pokemon Sword. And I plan on streaming on YouTube going forward for a little while, just to kind of see how that goes in comparison to what was going on with Twitch. Viewership wise, there's already pretty much, it's already outshined Twitch in every regard in terms of viewership wise, but we'll see. Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern time is when I plan on streaming on YouTube. As I said, we were doing Pokemon Sword. We're doing a Nuzlocke challenge to add a little bit of extra difficulty. Pokemon games in general, they're not that difficult. Actually, I think the most difficult Pokemon game I played in the longest time was actually Pokemon Let's Go, and that's because I avoided catching things. Like, I was just under-leveled for a lot of it. Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, that's kind of funny. If I that's the most deaths I think I've had in, like, a Pokemon game in years, even doing Nuzlocke challenges. That's right. That's kind of silly, though, because it is one of the most casual games out there, if you just go and catch a lot of things. Yeah, we're playing Pokemon Sword. It's been fun so far. People coming out the chat has also been awesome. After Pokemon Sword, I'll probably play the alternate path for Fire Emblem Three Houses that I didn't do in the series, like I said I was going to do a while back. And after that, I don't know what we'll stream. We could do like another Fire Emblem house, or we could see what else is out there. We could do like a retro type playthrough type deal. I had Throwback Thursdays going on Twitch for a little while before I was unable to stream for a bit. XCOM might come back at some point. I'd have to start over. That's the only reason why I didn't go back to XCOM right away, is like I have to start over again. And while I was enjoying the game, I actually do feel like that game is cursed. Because it seems like every time like the 2 times that I've tried playing it, something has happened. Like software, like mechanically wise or software wise on the PlayStation 4, it just became unstable, where it just crashed and just made things look really weird on my PlayStation when it didn't boot up for like 10 minutes. And then on like the PC wise, it was going fine until, well, shit hit the fan again for a little bit and I wasn't able to stream. It's not the game's fault. I know this. Deep in my heart, I know this, but for some reason I'm just like, I don't know if I want to chance it. It's a fun game though. We'll definitely have to go back to it at some point. I don't know. Yeah. Actually, another stream game might be Final Fantasy XIV at some point. I've tried playing that in the past on, I did like one stream on Twitch, and I just kind of fell out of it. I did buy like the latest edition of Final Fantasy XIV recently. It was on sale for like $20, so I was like, sure, why not? I'll buy it. Now I have all the expansion packs, and now I just need like to get a time card or something, and then I can play for a little bit. But I figured, yeah, well, maybe. Actually, it was already suggested on the Patreon page, so maybe that even gets voted in as the next Patreon games. I don't know. I don't even know how that would do for like a series. I'd have to probably cut out like a lot of the side quests and stuff. Yeah, I actually don't know how that would work. But yeah, I don't know. It might be a good stream game though. I know a lot of people stream it in general, but that might be more raid-wise. There's also like Horizon Zero Dawn I would like to get to at some point. Or like Ori and the Blind Forest. Yeah, I don't know. Leave some streaming game suggestions, I guess. I could always do like Jackbox Party Pack stuff and some free games we can do for like either like a Patreon thing or just a community in general type thing. Channel membership type thing. I keep saying type thing, but at the same time, I don't know how else to phrase it. Yeah, I don't know. I like streaming though. Streaming has always been fun, and I'm glad I'm actually able to actually stream again. Now that Mom's rehab's done for now, though we still got to go to the gym, just not at a rehab center like 30-ish minutes away for 3 hours every other day. That was hell. So it's nice having some time to just kind of sit down and not do that. Yeah, it is. I think I posted on Twitter like a week ago or something like that. I just had a day where I literally did nothing. Like I just sat in my chair and watched either YouTube videos or just like kind of sat here like an old man and dozed off. It was great. It was the best day I had in a long time. As old as that makes me sound. But yeah, it was a great day. I got really nothing else to talk about channel-wise now. Streaming's back. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That's barring any doctor's appointments I've had set up before I came back to streaming. Channel's doing great. Getting a lot of subscribers recently. Still a lot of viewership across all the videos on the channel. We are 12,000 subscribers now, I believe, which is fantastic. Let's just keep going with that, I guess. But yeah, I don't think I got much else to say. If you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, supporting the channel on Patreon, patreon.com/CodersPlays. Right now we have that Patreon series stuff going on that you can comment on. And yeah, I guess that's gonna be for the channel update / rambling video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the future. Have a great day and a great weekend.